Rëndësishme ime është një mësuese edukatore e mirë, ti edukoj fëmijët ashtu siç duhet.
My biggest dream to be in grand action.
My biggest dream is to be a big graphist and to travel all the world. That's it.
To finish university, to be a lawyer, and to work for my state.
Ëndra ime është me pas një ardhmë të mirë, shteti jam më konë ndër shtetet evropiane, më konë bashkimin evropian, më konë të lirë, me pas paqe në botë, ç'është.
My biggest dream is to be a president of country.
Kosovo is located in Eastern Europe, between Serbia, Montenegro, Albania and Macedonia. The population is an estimated 2.2 million, in which 92% are Albanian, 5% Serbians, and 3% of other minorities. 60% of Kosovo's population is under the age of 30, making it the youngest country in Europe.
When the NATO strikes began, how should I say, I was in a sort of home prison with my family because it was almost impossible to go out on your own without any dangers. Yeah, you had to choose whether you are going to risk your life, but in the same time you were not safe at home, because any moment someone could come and I don't know, kill you and your family and stuff like that. So it was pretty difficult those 3 months until the KFOR troops arrived here in Pristina. So this is my neighborhood. And this is my house. The last 2 weeks, almost every 10 seconds or 5 seconds, a bomb were dropped, and we could hear it all the time. and you could go. I remember very good that I lay down and slept, and it's interesting how man can keep on living with that. I was not afraid from the bombs. I was afraid from the soldiers, from paramilitaries, that someone is going to come inside and kill us or something. Everybody was committed to stay in their homes and not to leave, because this is our home and this is our country and so on. One of the other reasons was that my younger brother and my mother didn't have any passport, so I couldn't just leave them here, because my father was saying, why don't you go out and so on, because there is going to be lots of bloodshed and killings and so on. It's not easy to live with that fear at all. We have also a song called When Is This Song Going to End? It is filmed just in front of the Kosovo Parliament. We have the pictures of missing people from the last war. We dedicated this song to the families of those missing persons, because we wanted to tell them that there are people who still think about you. You're not left alone.
Kur do të pushoj ma kjo mërzin kjo bukuri do të nuk e thon syt mu kanë ranu zemare me mu syt mu kanë ranu zemare me mu.
They still feel very much abandoned by the government institutions and by the people in general here, because there are still more than 1,500 missing persons. So for these families, the war is not yet over.
On February 17, 2008, Prime Minister Hashim Thaçi declares the independence of Kosovo. This is recognized by 60 countries. Serbia states that they will never recognize Kosovo as an independent state. For many Albanians, independence is a long-awaited dream coming true.
We wanted to come up with a phrase or a word or something that would sort of describe the whole day. And among many words that we suggested, newborn just came up, and it stuck. And we realized that yes, this is the word, this is something that is pure, that is innocent, that is new. Our idea of interaction was to get people to sign on it on the Independence Day, which would be great, because that way the people would actually express themselves and this message would be passed on to the world. We placed this at around 2-3 in the morning. It was minus 16 degrees, snowing. The whole week while we built it, there was a buzz all over the city, all over the country, you know. People knew that we're going to declare the independence. You could feel it in the air. And knowing that we are doing something about it felt even better. There were moments that not only me, but all the members of the team thought, fuck it, this is greater than life. The president came in first, he signed the N, and the Prime Minister signed somewhere around here, on the W, and then it was tight security until they went. People just jumped on it and we lost control. But it became beautiful because you could see people hanging on it, you know, running up and down and just writing on it. It was amazing. Newborn simply says, it's, although we've been around, we've been here as a nation, as a country, because as a nation we've been here for a long time, but as a country, it's the first time we're being made, so we are newborn. And it is our duty as citizens of this country to nurture it, feed it, make it grow into a big, stable country, you know, just like any other newborn.
Here are young people, most of people are 60% of young people that are really positive people, really creative people that work for good values of Kosovo.
We like to live well, in peace, like everybody in the world.
Kosovo has been in war, and it's an amazing thing, you know, to see this fast progress in music, culture, buildings, everything, you know. I'm proud that I'm a Kosovar.
That we're good people and we're educated and that we can lead our country.
It's not like you see on a TV. The things are better and not the same. So come and explore us. It's a beautiful country.
Put 120 chickens in the parliament front yard. 1 chicken for every parliamentarian. We let the chickens go free in the front yard. And the reason why is that our parliament, we think, is like a chicken in terms of the symbolism of fear. Our parliament is not daring to talk about poverty, about corruption, about justice system, all these things. So I don't think they even have an idea how to be independent institution, how to be democratic, and how to solve these issues. People are a little bit depressed, you know, they're losing confidence, and they don't see their lives improving. They don't see education improving, they don't see healthcare improving. And so reason why we created Speak Up is to encourage people to talk, to speak up for their own country, for their own problems. Because we have one proverb in our language that if a kid is not crying, the mother is not going to feed him. So if we are just sitting around staying, we are not talking, speaking up of our problems, I don't think we will see solutions to them in the near future.
Through my music, since with rap music you've got the power of speech, people can hear you, and I think that 90% of the people that will come here, I will be their voice because they think the same. My lyrics are just too hardcore. What I say is what lacks in Kosovo. I just throw trash at people that lead the state, like that are in the parliament, the government, that promise, that give promises and that they don't keep.
Bitches in the house. Shoot. Kosovo. Shoot. Shoot. Ciuno piccione, 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 ciuno picciume. Ciuno picciume. Ciuno picciume. Picciumen. Alla nuke. Mosjusmen. Musucito si alusmen. Ciumen. Apeshe qatsen. Në qatsen. Po bar qatsen. Që me teksten e t'i krejtsen. E drejtje në sistem që kejt. As njëm të mos e përmeni për fshi kejt. Se jon kejt. Këta menagerat e venit tem e venit ton. Që venit ton të heret me rejojnë. Me rojnë mira mire thojnë. Për fund mira mire ndrojnë. Që thojnë e harqojnë. Ty sas thojnë. E për sas thojnë. E mushingojnë e vetë sas thojnë. Ty, kja rukën e kuqot e ki hup lojnë. Ty, kja rukën e kuqot e ki ju shkojnë. Ku a mu shu, se pëm deri sot. Shumë jot i mushit tjerë me qipa qëtë t'i vetë të lëk. Hallo nuk e mushman, shuman. Hallo nuk e mushman, shuman. Hallo nuk e mushman, shuman. Shuman, shuman. Hallo nuk e mushman, shuman.
Many Roma minorities live isolated from the rest of the society and still live in refugee camps, which they were temporarily placed after the war.
I lived here almost for 10 years. Now, in 2009, it's quite good. Comparing the situation in 1999 and 2000, it was, situation was very angry and complicated. A lot of conflicts every day. Reasons were just color and the language, nothing else. But now they're all quiet. During the war, their houses were destroyed, or the people which they didn't have a house, they lived, with rent. So everything they had, they lost on the war. So they came here, and so now they got this building. It's a social building. They are all unemployed. They depend from a social help they get from the state, which is 50 or 60 euros, and it's not enough for, monthly benefit. It's something that everybody somehow, lives. Survive. In this building lives 21 families. We have mixed people here. We have Serbians, we have Ashkalis, Roma. So it's a multi-ethnic building. Behind the barak, it's the place that's supposed to be for our radio, which didn't make it because we stuck for a project to renovate this building, because the building is in bad condition and it's totally destroyed. The goal is of this radio is that Ashkala people to raise the voice. That we want to show that we are open for all people in Kosovo. We wanted to discuss the living, what is the reality in Kosovo. I'm gonna be an English reporter, I'm gonna make interviews in English, and after I translate it in Albanian. As I imagine here, a lot of people coming, internationals, different Serbians, Albanians, everyone, just making interviews. All people will have a separated hour in their own languages. So it will be a multi-ethnic radio. I would like to show to the rest of the world that about our culture, because there are people that even doesn't know that we exist. My big dream is that maybe someday I'll see Kosovo, sticking around with all of us, not just staying aside or working together, playing together, just live together, to be equal all.
Since the beginning of the 20th century, there has been a fight around Kosovo. The Albanians in Kosovo want independence from Serbia. The Serbians say that Kosovo is a province of their country. Serbians in Kosovo live in enclaves where they feel restricted in the freedom of movement.
Everybody, asking why Serbs cannot recognize Kosovo. I think that whole world know, that Kosovo is something which means identity for Serbs. So can you imagine how you can felt after everything that you used to born in Serbia, and now you must to change your identity.
Serbs have that feeling that we will always live frightened. It depends, sometimes more, sometimes less, but never living without fear. Because we still live in the feeling that Albanians see us as enemies.
From my childhood I know about the problems between Serbs and Albanians, that still exists some ethnic tension, and we are still with Albanians trying to build some good neighborhood relationships, so we are still too far away from the multi-ethnic life.
Albanian politicians try to say that everything that caused the problem in Kosovo is because Kosovo is not independent. Okay, now it is independent. What are they doing with it? Did crime decrease in Kosovo? No. Did corruption decrease in Kosovo? No. Is economy better? No. What changed? Except that more and more Serbs are leaving.
At the moment I see only 2 years in front of us. I'm talking about my community, because still I don't believe in future, I think that must here come the new generation who can, do it something, because this older generation, I think that have too much stereotypes and prejudice, into their self.
They are not trying to solve the problem in Kosovo. They are only trying now to keep it quiet. Not anyone to make any noise. And let's all of us pretend that we are just one big happy family that wants to go to another big happy family that calls European Union, and all of us will be happy and we will singing every day, even in the rain. All the time we will singing. What kind of joke is that?
It is the people of Kosovo that are suffering the choices that others have made. Corruption is stopping citizens to receive good services they deserve from the government. Because of the corruption, we don't get good chances to get visas for elsewhere, because corruption is linked with organized crime. So it's a result of individuals who have greed for power, greed for money, and can't stop getting enough of it, If you ask me, the reason why we have this organized crime in Kosovo and corruption and human trafficking is not only because we have leaders who enjoy this situation because they benefit in money, But we also had an international organization who was there. They brought people, police officers, to help our country create a police organization. And these police officers had a background, a CV of corruption, of abuse, of everything in their own country. And here they are in Kosovo to help us fight crime. As Martin Luther King says, I have a dream for America, I have a dream for Kosovo. And my dream for Kosovo is a European Kosovo. We are not requesting heaven in the world. I mean, this long way. We are not that naive, but it's been 11 years and the level of unemployment has been the same. It hasn't changed, or our education system, or our healthcare. So I want to see change here, in these practical things that touch the life of the citizens every day.
We are sending 120 folders for every member of parliament, one, so they have their names here, for example. See, that's the name for the deputy or member of parliament, okay, and it is the agenda there. So this is it, but it's heavy, I'm telling you, it's heavy.
Pesë organizata të shoqërisë civile dhe më shumë se 50 personalitete e qytetarë të ndryshëm nga Kosova dhe vendet e ndryshme të Evropës me një letër të hapur kërkojnë nga institucionet publike në Kosovë mbrojtje të lirisë së shprehjes. Gazetari Alindit Azizi do të zhvillojë një intervistë me Ramadan Ilazin nga organizata Fol 08.
Unë mendoj që qytetarët e Kosovës kanë pasur si gazetarët dhe organizatat që kanë qenë kritikuese ndaj proceseve politike dhe kanë nxjerrur në pa fakte që nuk I kanë shkuar për shtatin ndoshta ndonjë agjende janë kërcënuar edhe me jetë dhe janë etiketuar si tradhtar dhe si shpion. Ne mendojmë që këso lloj etiketimesh dhe këso lloj kërcënimesh me jetë duhet të dënohen fuqimisht nga qeveria e Republikës së Kosovës, e cila duhet të sigurojë publikun kosovar se mirëpret gazetarinë profesionale, hulumtuese dhe mirëpret kritikat për procese.
Ramadan, kjo është temë shumë e gjerë dhe na duhet mjaft kohë për të debatuar, megjithatë koha për edicionin qendror të lajmeve kaq na premton. Unë ju falenderoj shumë që ishit pjesë e edicionit tonë qendror.
Faleminderit edhe për juve, shumë faleminderit.
Ramize, me mua ishte Ramadan Iljazi, linja për ju. Linda, të faleminderit atë për këtë intervistë, ndërsa ne vazhdojmë me një lajm.
This is what? This is a demon face. The face of darkness. The face of the place we live in. I almost got arrested for this. Because this is the piece when I taught the little kids, my students, how to do graffiti. And they did the letters up and down, and I did the middle piece. And when the police were coming, I told the kids, leave the cans over there, and I grabbed one. And the police came. Oh, you asked anybody? I'm like, man, look, in this wall, there was Cyrillic signs of Serbia military people, blah, blah, blah. I got it on camera as well. So I'm like, look, you want this or you want this? And they're like, okay, just give me your name. And it's all good. Nothing. They didn't do anything. This here. This is a little kid with no soul. Look at his eyes. No pupils. So he has no soul. at all. And the X is the violence behind everybody. It's an X, a used one. Let's do a change, because that's my motto. If I can't change anything, then I'm useless. If I cannot bring change. That's all this place needs. See, this is a problem. See how people like to put their cars very close to where they have a coffee? Come on, this is stupid. No. Here, let's block your entrance. We're basically a baby. We have to learn how to walk, how to talk, how to behave, and all that, because so far we have never been a state. In history, we have been 500 years under Ottoman Empire, then another 100 years under the Serbian pressure. And imagine if you hold a tiger in a cage for 600 years, generation and generations of tigers, hold them in a cage, and just for an instant you take him out. How will he behave? He has to explore the freedom. So that's why we do it now. We're on a transit phase. So if you see irregularities here, it's just natural. We are learning how to deal with ourselves.
We made a sort of mix between Western rock and electronic music and traditional Albanian music, which is mostly influenced by the Eastern culture.
Lindje, perëndim, alindje. Si dele në pazar për thonën, mes të qytetrimeve. Dy konopën qafë të vnun, dyt po të ndejnë ti po që të shkunje shumë I lodhën, gjatë kinet në zhurën. E kine voj me marë frim se jënë të mgull fat, zani s'po dele dën me piskat, kejt janë shën kryt kanë halakat. Edhe sa ka me zgat, deri sa të softojnë, deri sa dali sa përblojnë, deri sa ta kur tanë se sën vazhra në konfuzion. E beba sën e hani pull vjek, a sën e hani spes djeks, e ti po dën me shtime ngajt hajda po mcu me hec, e ti nda qepi cucon të arabis, da qepi cucon të francës, ajo ka me lyp, tomlin e nonës, baj! Tomlin e nonës, baj!
Some of the songs were pretty much expressing the post-war depression that we went through as a society just after the war. We started to sing in Albanian because we thought now, since we were free, now our enemy is ourselves, in fact, so we have to spread a message to our people here for building a better society. We have still lots of problems with rebuilding our society, especially we are having problems with corruption and so on. Yeah. So this is our next war that we are fighting. We have to fight. Yeah. Sometimes it seems it's much more difficult than the last one.
vnun Dët po të ngrejnë ti po që të shtunje shumë I lovën Gjatë ki nejtë në zhurë E kine voj me marë frymë Se jënë të mbull fat Zani s'po dele dën me piskat Kejt lanë shën kryt kanë hala